telling me I'm getting fiber speeds, but somehow it just does that. What the hell?
Yeah. Just on that one server in the trial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back, mate.
Alright.
You're standing in front of a red door.
Yeah.
Your menu's flashing too.
Yeah. All good, right?
Yep. Yeah. Oh shit, yeah, all the crows on the roof.
Gotta break it down.
You might just as well
There's
stand
some
out in the
seagulls
street,
and
pound on a
sparrows.
drum and holler, "Detlef, I'm coming for you." A bit more finesse, I implore you.
Let's hear your idea.
Give me a moment.
Nice. Ever consider becoming a burglar? Skill like that'd come in awful handy.
I considered it briefly, but ultimately concluded it would be terribly dull. Come.
He here? Sense him.
No, he's not here, but he was here recently. His scent is still strong.
Let's look around. Old toy. No use to anyone. Shame. Must have brought someone joy sometime.
I find these puppets rather disturbing.
Get out of the way, fuckface.
Yeah, Jesus.
Somebody fixed this recently. No dust mark. Somebody moved this here recently. Nice little trinket.
I find these puppets rather disturbing.
Attic. Let's go. So this is his nest. Need to look around. Nice tune.
Indeed. I'm not certain why, but it reminds me of home. Our true home from before the conjunction of spheres.
See the color? Ink was dyed with cinnabarite. Rare mineral, pretty much found only in...
Nazaire, but I fear it means very little. Anyone could have imported such ink.
Fair enough. Still worth remembering.
Look, this sling is stained.
With wine. Not much to go on either, especially not in Beauclair.
Perhaps. Yet perhaps also worth remembering.
Still got nothing, basically. Need to look around some more.
Let's get to work.
Detlaff van der Eretain, you do not know us, but we know you to be a vampire. We know also of your weakness for the wench they call Renowed. Now you know this. We shall chain her down and let rats feed on her. We shall flay the skin from her flesh. Yet you can save her. You need but travel to Beauclair, where you shall slay 5 men in the manner we prescribe. You must complete the killing in 3 days. Fail, and the next letter you receive will contain a memento of your failure. Your beloved's finger.
There you have it. Proof positive Detlaff killed not of his own accord. A blackmailer sunk his claws into him.
Any idea what it could be? Detlaff have any enemies?
Indeed. Detlaff gains foes occasionally, but they never live long.
One might have managed to evade him.
Possible in theory.
What was that, mate?
So the plot thickens, and then I didn't.
Yeah,
Why do you think that?
not sitting there
Any
coughing my
signs
hole
or
up on
clues
me.
to that effect?
None to be found. Apparently she disappeared one day. Her belongings disappeared with her. Not a scenario one associates with kidnapping.
In my humble opinion, she left on her own. Scared off perhaps by a bout of Detlaff's rage that revealed his other, more monstrous side.
Detlaff have trouble letting go, accepting that she'd left him?
Is that so hard to believe? Do you know no humans who've struggled with just such a thing?
And Detlaff is so much more emotional than most humans.
Not only was she his beloved, his lover, his mate, she was a member of his pack. And one never leaves one's pack voluntarily.
Even if Renowed did abandon him that time, looks like someone's actually kidnapped her this time.
Hard to argue with that. And hard to foresee what he's prepared to do to free her, get her back.
He's prepared to kill, that's clear.
As would you be for Yennefer. He kills for he cares for her deeply. And that blood, those individuals, they mean nothing to him.
Yeah, I get it now. He's out to rescue a female from his pack.
Exactly.
Blackmailer. Kinda curious who it could be.
Why is that?
Regis. Somebody kidnapped a vampire's lover. Bold to begin with. Now they're forcing the vampire to kill. A vampire you yourself insisted no murderer. Blackmailer's skilled. Someone special.
Astute. Now that I think of it, I'm beginning to wonder if...
It's not one of your kind? Another vampire?
Precisely. The plot thickens.
Just a hypothesis. Wouldn't set my heart on it till we know more.
Right you are.
Let's sum up what we know. Seems Detlaff's being blackmailed. Someone's been feeding him his victims' names.
All noted down using one and the same Nazari ink. And not in his handwriting.
Not much.
But enough to ascertain Detlaff's innocence, clearly.
Actually, it is. Detlaff's being manipulated. Some lunatics turned him into a tool, making him kill.
So it would seem. But this illuminates a path of action for us. We must find Renowed, render the blackmail senseless. The lunatic
Here, Detlaff and I both.
that for you. 3 ability points to get that.
Uh-huh. It shouldn't take you too long, about 3 ability points, yeah?
Yeah. That's... Well, I got 1 now. So
Mm-hmm.
2 more undiscovered places of power, or 2 more levels.
Yeah.
Then I gotta unlock 8 and unlock 12 with the other 2.
Okay. Ow.
At least the weather's pleasant.
Make some recycled water real quick.
Ooh. Remember, standby's still on, mate.
I just turned
And
it
now
off.
it's up. Yay.
That's
Welcome,
right.
runner. It's all beyond me. You are.
Some noodles.
You asshole.
Holding! Holding!
Where's mine?
Welcome, my good sir.
Need a bit of grooming.
Yeah, she told me share. You share.
My time's up. So long.
It's rolling on an empty stomach.
Witcher
Right.
you've still to bust your bum.
Meditation.
We shall long bear the scars of that witch's visit. Geralt of Rivia, Master Witcher.
I was not mistaken. You arrived and trouble followed soon after.
Step aside. Got a matter for the Duchess.
At last, Witcher. We've been on tenterhooks. Did you catch Milton's killer?
Case is more serious than we thought. The beast? I couldn't kill it. Didn't manage.
We sent you after a monster and you returned with nothing? We are very disappointed.
Situation's not quite that simple. Beast's a powerful vampire.
Ha! Is this a problem? Is it too much for a witcher? A monster slayer? But everyone knows how to end a vampire. Draw him by trick into sunlight. Or arm yourself with ample garlic and drive a stake through its heart.
Garlic's useless against vampires. Sun and stakes don't hurt him either. Those methods, pure invention. Only work in legends and fables.
And buckthorn? When I was a child, Grandmama Ademarta always claimed buckthorn drives off vampires.
Silver sword's your best option for keeping them at bay. But it won't get the job done, because only a higher vampire can truly kill another of its kind.
Excuses. Ha! Your Grace, I shall assemble a battue. Bring the matter to its end at once. The Witcher need but tell us where to find this monster.
Go ahead. Send them to their death. Certain death.
To a lone Witcher, perhaps. To 40 of my men-at-arms, but another skirmish.
40, 50, 100? Doesn't matter. Won't make any difference against him.
You have not seen my guardsmen in action.
Can they fight fog? Hit a target that moves faster than the wind?
How? What creature can do such things?
Creatures like this one. Higher vampires, we call them. Each one's a little different. Unique or exceptional, you might say. Some transform into giant bats. Others communicate with animals, command them.
Yet all are still brainless beasts.
Dead wrong. Thinking of lesser vampires. Alps, Ekamaras, Catechans, for instance. They're ruled by instinct, sure. Attack anything that smells of blood. Higher vampires? They think. They employ reason.
Monsters driven by reason. A curious contention. What then do you intend to do?
It's way beyond being some monster. This is a powerful being that's walked the world for centuries.
Impossible. If so great is their power, why have they not killed or enslaved us all?
Don't usually meddle in our matters. Mostly stay out of our way because they don't care about humans one way or the other.
And they do not fear we shall wipe them out one day.
They'd probably be pretty amused if you asked them that. They're well aware of their strength.
Then what can we do? Do you have a plan?
Try to talk to him. That's our best bet.
I cannot believe this. Her Grace summons a Witcher to kill a monster. Instead, he wishes to chat with it. Ha.
Know what I'm doing. His lover was kidnapped. He's being blackmailed.
Blackmailed? Be so kind as to explain how a vampire might be blackmailed.
Higher vampires? They're like us, motivated by emotions, not instinct. Not only are they intelligent to an extreme, they're emotionally rich, capable of feeling many things, even love. This one fell in love with a woman, a human, and he'll do anything to keep her from harm.
You do not, I trust, suggest we let Milton's killer go free. Or wait until it murders again. We must render it harmless as quickly as possible.
Which is why that's my aim now, to prevent further attacks. Vampires only half the problem. Blackmailers at fault chiefly. Kidnapped the woman to control the vampire.
And what do you propose to do?
I'll find the blackmailer, free the vampire's lover.
You were to destroy him, not help him.
No one else should die. That's most important. As soon as the woman's safe, he'll have no more reason
On
to
you,
kill.
Geralt.
Yeah.
Put yourself back in shit up to the eyeballs.
I'd
Nice
been
armor, man.
swayed, Witcher.
That blue
may
and
be
green
right. Do you
together
know
looks
anything
awesome.
about the blackmailer?
Got one lead. A few scraps of paper. Blackmailer wrote the names of the vampire's victims on them. One of them stained. A drop of wine, looks like. So damn little to go on.
You've no idea how wrong you are, my dear. Send for the ducal sommelier. Hop, hop! In Tucson, wine is sacred. Here there is no such thing as a drop of wine, or stains therefrom. They are stains from a drop of Est, Ervelus, Fiorano.
Your Grace wished to see me?
Witcher, show him the paper scrap. Benoit, can you determine which wine made this stain?
Stay off the steroids, Benoit. That's a horrible joke.
Yeah, but with Benoit's balls.
Yes. The West Bank of the Saar Tour. That's rather obvious. Aged in barrels of Beauclair oak. Hue, deep burgundy. Clarity, high. It's simple. Saint-Réal, the 1269 vintage.
That's impossible. The wine is produced at Castel Ravello, especially and exclusively for the ducal table. Perhaps some Saint-Réal was stolen. We must go to the vineyard, see if there's not been an incident.
Saint-Réal. Never heard of it.
It's highly unlikely you've ever had a chance to partake of it. As I said, it is only ever served to the ducal family.
Didn't stop it from ending up on that scrap of paper. Unless your Grace's sommelier is mistaken.
In matters of wine, Benoit is never mistaken. If he says it's Saint-Réal, it is Saint-Réal. We must ride to Castel Ravello at once. Discover what has happened.
What do you mean? We.
Wait, your Grace wants to go with me? Out of the question.
Yeah.
I hope you do not suppose we will sit on our ducal hiney and do nothing while our duchy is in grave danger.
Your Grace, what you propose is far too dangerous. The Witcher should go alone.
It pleases me to see you gentlemen finally agree on something. But I've made my decision. We shall go, accompanied by the best possible escorts. You, Captain, and Geralt. We will travel incognito. We've no wish to give the court any reason to gossip. For the duration of this mission, I release you from your obligation to adhere to court protocol. In short, from now on, I am Anna Henrietta, not your Grace.
Yes, Your Grace. Witcher, are you ready?
Let's go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Excellent. Give me a moment. I must don something more appropriate and concealing. Then we will be off.
Give me a moment. Fucking night. I got there in the morning.
Yeah. Funny. Fucked up sense of time.
This vampire, have you ever faced its sort before?
I have.
How did it end? Did you kill it?
Didn't have to fight him. Hadn't killed anyone.
Have you ever heard of anyone defeating such a vampire?
Know of a man who defeated one, sure.
Save us! Back, you beast! Be gone! Help! Save us! Back, you beast! Be gone! Save us! Save us! Thank you, beast! Be gone!
Good. Done. Time to move on.
If not for you, we'd have been done for.
They were fortunate
Thank you.
we happened by.
You saved our lives.
Hooray!
Come on, Roach. Tell me more about this vineyard, Castel Ravello.
It's the best in Ottusa. An old master of the winemaking trade runs it. Fabrizio.
He trustworthy?
He's held his post for years. There's never been a problem. Till now. I wish to know your thoughts, Geralt. The Sonreal stain, how did it wind up on the paper? Is someone from the vineyard blackmailing the vampire?
Could be a servant, could be the steward, could be the wine was just stolen from the estate.
We shall know when we arrive. It's not far now.
Long live Duchessa Anna Henrietta.
Brief song.
Captain de la Tour, we did not expect any visitors from the palace. How are affairs at court?
Doubtless you've heard of the Beast of Beauclair. Well, we've our hands full. Especially since the rogue last attacked in the palace gardens.
I trust Her Illustrious Highness was not harmed.
Kind of you to ask, Master Fabrizio. I am well.
Your Grace? We were not warned. I shall order the salon prepared at once.
That won't be necessary. As you can see, we are not here on an official visit.
Naturally. Might I ask then what has brought you to Castel Ravello?
This is an inspection. We've got questions. You'll answer them.
And who are you, sir, to speak to me this way?
This is Geralt of Rivia, a witcher. He has come to Toussaint on my personal invitation.
Which is to say...
Which is to say, I expect you to treat him with the utmost respect.
Of course, Your Grace.
Did you hear that, Witcher? Fabrizio will be delighted to answer your every question.
Want to talk about Sonreal?
I am at your service.
The Sonreal. How many vineyard workers have access to it?
One might say only I do.
Not like you make the wine all alone. At least a dozen others work here.
I see you've little notion how wine is made. Grapes travel a long road before they become Sonreal. The workers assist me only to the stage of fermentation. I see to the maceration personally and let no one near the fat. Workers, again, assist me during barreling, but then I seal the aging barrels myself, each and every one. The wine lies in the cellar, gains character. Once this process is complete, it becomes Sonreal. And as it happens, only I have the key to the cellar in question.
Who hauls the barrels to the palace?
We've our own garrison. Guards who have served here for years and would answer with their heads for the wine.
We'll not get anywhere asking questions, I see. It's a waste of time.
Your Grace, how am I to understand this?
Master Fabrizio, we have proof someone's gained access to Sonreal. Someone who should not have, which means one of two things. Either you lie to our face, or You are an idiot who has had wine stolen from under his nose and not even realized it. In either case, you shall answer for it.
But...
Silence! And listen. I shall inspect the barrels in person, thus giving you time to reflect. When I return, I expect to hear answers. Remind me, where is this Unreal stored?
In the main cellar, around the corner. I'll show you.
I shall find it. Give me the key to the cellar and wait here.
Oh, of course, Your Grace. Here it is.
Come, Witcher.
We shall wait here, Master Fabrizio.
What if Fabricio's blackmailing the vampire? Considered that?
He has his flaws, but I would never suspect him of such a thing. He's been very loyal. He owes all he has to me. His father frittered away the family fortune. He left his son an encyclopedic knowledge of wine. That is all. Fabrizio lived as a beggar until I appointed him steward of Castel Ravello. Only then did he come into his own.
So where do we start?
Let us see if all the barrels are present. Here's the inventory ledger.
Vintner's log. Fermentation completed with no complications. Tapped above sediment line. Here it is. Barreling. Everything lines up at first glance. Neatly and thoroughly documented.
Then we must follow our other lead. Benoit said the stain came from the 1269 vintage. Let's find it.
There you go.
Hervelous.
Cool.
I like it. Quite dry.
An excellent wine. You've good taste.
Est. Think everyone and their mother's heard of this wine.
Among the best in the world. Castel Ravello is famous for it.
Fiorano. Dandelion's favorite. Adores it.
Ah, yes. That sophisticated palate of his.
Got Pamino over here.
What the hell? Am I missing one? I didn't walk back here, that's why. The hell? Where is it? Back? That's out. Fruit. Sure fucking yes.
San Real. 1270 vintage.
That's the wrong year. Keep looking.
Right here. 1269. What now?
Let's see if any barrels are empty.
Wanna open them?
For now, a knock will suffice. If you hear a hollow thud, we will have found what we seek.
Full.
Full?
Full. This one's full too. Full. This one's full too. Looks like all the barrels are full. Dead end, I'm afraid.
Full they are. The question is, are they full of Sonreal? Grab a tap and a hammer. We shall open them one by one and taste.
Okay, get out of the way.
Some sound right there, eh?
Wooden hammer for tapping barrels.
Yeah, it's a tap and hammer.
Got the taps.
Then get to work. Let's broach those barrels.
Ready.
Step aside.
So?
Those hints of spice. Distinctive. This is Sonreal. Revolting, bitter plonk.
Could have gone sour while aging.
Impossible. This is not wine. This is contaminated refuse that should never have made it into a barrel. The fact that it did was no accident, I'm sure.
Master Fabricio. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Master Fabricio, I am very disappointed.
But, Your Grace, I...
You are a step away from losing your head. Speak the truth and you might yet keep it.
I've a roof over my head, ample food to eat, but what is a nobleman without land of his own? I shall tell you everything if you agree to show me mercy.
Who'd you sell the wine to?
A few weeks past at the pheasantry, a rich nobleman approached me. He called him...
Really thought nobody'd find out.
I was a fool, very foolish. I beg you, Your Grace, you must forgive me.
Wine itself. How'd you hand it over?
We met under the cover of darkness in the ruins of Fort Astre. A dozen or so men came to collect. Armed men. The kind that stink of trouble. I had hauled the barrel there. They transferred it to their cart, and we went our separate ways.
That's it? That the last you ever saw of them?
That is to say, a few days passed. a messenger arrived. He said they wished to buy another barrel and, well, I've prepared it, have it ready to deliver.
That's enough. Know all we need to know.
Your Grace, I beg your forgiveness.
Get out of my sight. Captain, have your men take Master Fabrizio to the dungeon. He must answer for his crime. High treason the charge. What now, Witcher?
We set a trap. Need to catch the wine thieves. Sentry and Noble could be our blackmailer. Next, transport. I'll take it to Fort Astra. Damien and his soldiers will cover me.
For once, I agree with you. We will do as you say. Let me know when you are ready.
See no reason to wait. Let's get going.
We will set out now. Position ourselves before you arrive. You'll take the cart and meet us there.
Fine. When the handoff begins, watch for my signal.
You don't know my signal.
Yep. Sits here and goes, ta-ta, ta-ta.
Yeah. I would let you know when someone is coming up the tower. Later on, someone is coming, quick. It's a strange hour.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, that's right. Big ass whop over the head, slice in half.
Nice model of a wagon, that was cool. CG speaking, of course.
Is it just me, or did we agree you'd wait for my signal?
That was the plan. At any rate, I see the effort you put forth.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. Let us go to her grace. She awaits nearby.
She's here. Might have known you.
Yeah.
Not at all surprised. Expected she'd want to oversee this personally.
The master's eye fattens the calf.
Sure.
You're beginning to understand that, I see. This prisoner of yours, bring him to me. We must ask him some questions. Captain, do the honors.
Who sent you?
His name is Dog. They say he plowed your mother.
Once again, who sent you?
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah, very powerful little tech, that one.
Wait. He doesn't wish to speak. He needn't. I can think of several other ways he can be helpful. I'm certain the Witcher will need bait to lure the beast of Beauclair.
What?
Sure can. Fresh out.
In that case, he's all yours.
Captain, have your men find me a strong rope. Kind that won't snap when we hang this fellow from a tree.
Rope?
Live bait. Great for monsters, provided they catch the scent of its blood. But I'll see to that.
What? No. Crikey, no! Don't let him!
Stop screaming. Save your strength. Got a long night ahead of you.
No! Don't let him! I'll talk!
Barrels. Where were you gonna take them?
I don't know.
Captain, need that rope after all.
I truly don't know. Hornet's the leader, only he ever knew where to go. But he lies over there, dead. That one. The first barrel went to a warehouse at the port. But where this one was bound, I don't know. I speak true. You must believe me.
Who hired you?
He'll kill me.
Oughta be worried about me right now. Who is he?
Go on, man. Spit it out.
The Centurion. That is what they call him. I've never seen him, but I know he mustered a man for this caper. That's what they said, that we were working for the Centurion. I don't know anything else. I swear it.
Take him away. Throw him in the dungeon. He shall await trial there. Captain, we ride to town. Gather your men and seek out the Centurion. Someone else must have seen him, must know of him.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll report to the palace as soon as I learn anything.
I shan't return to the palace. Our mission has not yet ended. The Witcher and I will await you at the guard post near the port.
Let's go to town.
He's late.
Relax, he'll come.
There's something I'd like to know. How can you be so
48,
calm?
awesome.
Side
Yeah,
effect of my
it says 48.
mutations. We Witchers rarely get the jitters.
1200 experience points.
Captain seems like a man who can take care of himself.
Perhaps he can, but this Centurion appears to be no common bandit. He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's noses. We only learned of it through a fortunate coincidence. And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire. One must be exceptionally confident to blackmail such a monster.
Still don't know this Centurion's behind the kidnapping and blackmail. Might have just handled the theft of the wine.
Even if it's so, he then sold the wine to the blackmailers. As I see it, that makes him an accomplice.
Need to find the Centurion, whether or not he's responsible for the murders. Even if none of it's his doing, he could still know our blackmailer's identity. Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is why they... Someone's coming.
Captain, why so long? We expected you hours ago.
This Centurion does not work alone. We are fighting an organization, not one man. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm. It all. A man had paid him to sign the lease, a man he met while begging outside the pheasantry. There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Cintrian accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could be anyone. But she remembered his female companion very well, as she recognized her. On the Cintrian's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer? I've heard of her. She's said to be gifted. Fairy.
The same. We went to her home immediately. Cecilia was not there, but we questioned her servants. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Cintrian gentleman tonight. She'd invited him to a reception mounted by the Mandragora.
The Mandragora? What's that?
A club, an affiliation of local artists. Painters, sculptors, troubadours and dancers.
Never heard of it.
They exude mystique, consciously, I think. Behaving like an exclusive cabal. Artistic elites. Every now and again they mount soirees. Only wealthy patrons are invited. All arrive in elaborate masks, then drink and flirt.
Gotta nab the Cintrian. Seems we have to go to that get-together.
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, surround the establishment. Not a mouse will squeeze through.
Out of the question. If the Cintrian truly does have men about the city, he will find out and escape once again.
Duchess is right. Need to be careful. Best go there, blend in with the crowd.
Precisely what we shall do.
We, Your Grace.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event gonna be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place, a residence in Oatville. It's a very distinguished district. Geralt, you must don appropriate attire. Then meet me in Oatville, in Mountebank Alley.
Audition.
Shop and buy some clothes.
Yeah.
Probably get to fight along the way. Now there's a price in my head.
Oh, it's a given, man.
Especially nighttime.
I love you.
Either gangsters or ghosts.
I love you.
Well, monsters anyway.
Well, I know. At least I know those places. I wonder if there's a regular clothes place.
Very good point.
By the prophet's wounds, a witcher.
By the prophet's wound, a witcher.
Here in Beauclair,
Nice tune.
right and fair.
Reginald Aubrey has returned, not to be missed. Buy your tickets now, available from me alone.
Good luck on the path.
Put it on.
A mask.
Nice
Or you
oversized
attend
pud
Mandragora's
pouch,
Valley.
man.
If you have one on, no one asks who you are.
Any idea why they wear masks?
Likely because they imagine it all
Chicks
so
dig
very
that.
romantic and mysterious.
Back in
truth
those
is far
days they did, I guess.
This way, no one can tell which drunken aristocrats are pinching the performers.
Let's go. Soiree's started.
Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise, that's certain. How do we find this Intrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions. As soon as we find her, we find him.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
Tell us about these performances.
This evening, the Mandragora has the honor to present 3 superb displays of artistry. The first was a concert by Cecilia Belont, a singer whose voice, were it stone, would surely be a diamond. Sadly, Mademoiselle Cecilia has sung.
Shame. You would have loved to hear her.
Luckily, you are in time to see the great Calesti, a master of visual illusions, come to us from far off affair.
Visual illusions. Interesting. And the third artist?
The third and fourth, for they are a duo, are the Tuven brothers, presenting their newest pantomime.
We were really hoping to meet Cecilia Bellant.
You are admirers, I surmise. I'm certain you will have ample opportunity to converse with her.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd. Perhaps you could help us find her.
I don't know where she is now, but I can give you a clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaveri orchid.
Meaning?
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize her easily by the orchid.
I've got a raging clue.
Voila! Now, allow me a moment to ponder. My appraisal? The painting depicts spiritual dualism, the continual battle between good and evil, and defiance.
Oh yes, that's him all right. Good versus evil. The dualistic nature of man.
And defiance.
Okay.
It must be someone famous, I tell you. Such talent. Exception true. Now, would I ever love to meet him?
Absinthe. The preferred hooch of artists.
Careful, it packs a pretty powerful punch.
I've built up a pretty powerful resistance.
This painting, it's
Do you fear taking a bath?
bloody colorful, that's what. Ignoramus. pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of criticism, but pretentious. So much time I spent polishing that one-man play. Blah, blah, blah. Avant-garde, schmavant-garde. It's all about two things. Coin and copulation.
Wenches will be wenches.
Hearts about to burst from
Look, lanterns. They say releasing them brings good luck.
Fine. Let's give it a try.
Never suspected you believed in such things.
But what if he doesn't come?
He'll definitely come. Don't worry.
How can you be so sure?
Brother dearest, trust me. He promised me he'd meet with you, and so he will. Hello?
Do take care, Witcher.
Aren't they even? Because the right cuff seems somewhat higher to me.
I got a mask on, you
It's
prick.
fine.
Yes,
Relax.
Cool, yeah.
Mr. Buffon, is it
the eyes give it away, sure.
Yeah. And the huge package.
Yeah, hard to miss.
Sorry, artists in the Mandragora and their guests only. Please go.
What if he doesn't come?
He'll definitely come. Don't worry.
How can you be so sure?
Brother dearest, trust me. He promised me he'd...
Ah, how beautiful. The dolphins. That is no ordinary illusion. The man is a true artist.
Impressive.
Exception true.
It's an outrage. Cecilia never should have performed tonight. You should have.
It seems someone, this...
We are busy. It's an outrage. Cecilia never should have performed tonight. You should have.
It seems someone decided on...
That someone knows nothing of true art. Next time, trust me, I shall have a word with Oriana personally. But are you sure it's an original?
Have I not heard? It's on everyone's lips. Order to them. Of the century. And here you are, offering one to me.
If you are not interested, sir, I'm sure someone else...
Right, fine. You can't think I'd let such an opportunity pass. How much?
Slow down! You have declared your intent. Now I will convey this to my client. We shall get back to you. Please await word.
Please leave. This is a private alcove.
Have you seen the Skelliger Isles?
Yes, I have.
How fares your health, sir?
Certainly have.
We must throw off the manacles of form, venture beyond the bounds of cognition. Color is but the shadow of deliberations on the nature of existence. It is irrelevant to the world's ultimate meaning.
How do I get over there?
It must be someone famous, I tell you. Such talent. Exception true.
Bloody good question, man.
I ever loved to meet him. It's a shame he didn't come along.
Need I remind you that neither did you?
Please do not disturb. One false move could prove.
Have
Need I
the
remind
torch and nothing else. So I can't find out what it is.
Yeah.
This painting, it's rather... It's very...
Finally. It would be one of these things. They're like looking for. Maybe it's upstairs. Maybe it's up.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Do not disturb! Shoo, shoo!
It's the right flower.
Of course it is! A Kaviri orchid lends just the right contrast to her complexion.
Need to talk to your model. It'll only take a minute.
To me?
Lie still! You may speak, but for love's sake, do not move.
Wow. Impressive portrait.
I know the style, the stroke. This is Dorian Velez.
The gracious lady has heard of me.
Nice portrait.
I've heard Anna Henrietta herself wished you to paint her
Big
portrait once.
boobs.
At one point, the palace chamberlain even wrote to me, but alas, ultimately refused my terms.
What was the matter?
When he learned I only ever paint nudes, he severed all contact. He said he would not dare offend her illustrious highness with such a proposition. I've always longed to paint her. Such a shame.
I think you may still get your chance.
We came here to meet you, specifically.
To meet me? But why?
Centrian Noble you came here with. Wanted to ask you about him.
Centrian Noble. Ah! You must think I'm Cecilia.
Orchid confused me.
I told you not to move!
As she concluded her performance, Cecilia tossed the flower into the crowd. I caught it, but I did see the nobleman.
Really like to talk to him. What did he look like?
Like many here. Tall, dark, masked.
Know where he might be now?
He gave Cecilia a small gift. A heart-shaped box. Then they strolled off together towards the refreshment tables.
Excuse me, madame, monsieur, I cannot work like this. You must leave now.
Heart-shaped box.
Yeah, that.
Nirvana?
It's got a finger in it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The warning in the letter.
Yep.
Exceptional.
Yeah.
Need I remind you that neither did you.
Someone left their loot behind. Looks a little like dandelions.
This was scratched. Someone beat him with it once.
Empty, heart-shaped box. Cecilia must have left it behind.
It looks like it held a flask of perfume. A gift from the Sintrian, I imagine.
Scent still hangs in the air. Let's follow it.
It is a reference to the work's ultimate meaning.
This way,
Aha. That way.
This is definitely done. Let's go.
You're
this way, it's rather it's very
True talent paints like the great one.
The Great One. But he's a dancer.
That's to say, the other one. His brother.
But what if he doesn't come?
He'll definitely come. Don't worry.
How can you be so sure?
Brother dearest, trust me.
As I said, only Mandragora artists allowed. Nothing I can do.
Come. We must consider what to do.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
You must be mistaking me for someone else.
I served 15 years in the palace. Your Grace, I'd not mistake you for anyone.
Shh. Not so loud. We are here incognito, on state business.
Yes, Your Grace. How may I serve?
I hope we can count on your discretion.
Of course. I shall be silent as the grave.
You should, 'cause you might end up there.
Yeah.
Looking for Cecilia Bellant. Seen her?
She's in her dressing room, where she went with a nobleman. They clearly were drawn to each other.
What did the man look like?
Tall, broad-shouldered, a black beard peeping out from under his mask, and he spoke with a foreign accent, a drawl of sorts.
That must be him. We must get to the dressing room, quickly.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll take you.
No, stay here. Anyone tries to flee, you stop them.
Understood.
Quickly, upstairs. That must
Cool.
be Cecilia.
No pulse.
Beautiful room.
We're too late.
Ah, with a dead chick.
He slit her throat.
That's
The
harsh,
brute.
mother.
Didn't go out the door. Guard would have noticed. Might still be somewhere here.
You must find him before he harms another. I shall alert Oriana at once. She should bring her soiree to a close.
Shouldn't split up.
Geralt, I will be fine.
Broke the flower pot when moving the door, then stepped in the soil. Must have climbed this ladder.
Ladder? What ladder?
Yeah.
Oh, that ladder.
Trellis, okay.
Covered in vines.
Yep.
Could still be here. Need to stay alert. Smashed mirror. Someone crashed into it hard, then sank to the floor. Bloodstains. Links of a snapped chain. Jewel must have been on it. Jewelry box. Lock's busted. Picked open, probably. Precious stone. Bloody fingerprint on it. Thief came for this. Must. Sconce is bent. Smeared with blood. Someone try to grab it?
What else am I missing in here?
I have no idea, I'm sorry.
Hunting knife. Richly ornamented. Used during the fight, probably. Jewel was in the box, it seems. Centurion tried to steal it, but someone got in his way. They fought, struggled, that's clear. Ended with one of them flying out the window. Fall had to have killed them. Jewel's still here, though, so our Centurion must have been the flyer.
So, this is the tracker. A witcher, yes?
Indeed, this is him. We found the body together. Then he set off in pursuit of the killer.
And ended up here, but I've only found evidence of a fight. Seems the Centurions killed his last. Finally failed this time. Shame it happened too late for Cecilia.
Poor girl. Always told her she chose her males badly. But I would never have suspected she could arrive with a murderer. I'll alert the staff. Have them see to her body at once. Meanwhile, we should sit. I will tell you everything in full detail. I caught him red-handed, attempting to burgle, rifling through my possessions.
What did you do? Summon the guards?
There was no time. I feared he'd escape, refused. He stood with his back to me, so I attacked. He struck his head on the picture frame as we struggled. He was bleeding, dazed, and then he drew a knife. Everything happened very quickly then. I knocked the weapon out of his hand and pushed him hard. He
fell out of the window.
Just so.
None too wise picking a fight with an armed robber.
Why? Because I'm a woman? in a frock rather than plate. I can take care of myself, I assure you. A hairpin might look like mere ornament, but plunged into an eye, it can be as effective as a blade.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you walked into the room?
Yes, he stood over my dressing table, pouring through my jewellery.
Mm-hmm. After this is my guess. Picked it up while searching.
Why, that's the heart of Toussaint. Oriana, how did you ever come to have it?
I bought it many years ago from a young woman.
Jewel seems important. Why?
The heart is an heirloom. It belonged to my family for years. Then it disappeared. I didn't think we would ever recover it.
Seems someone is very determined to find it. The thief left his tool bag behind. Found this drawing inside it. Look.
The heart of Toussaint.
It's a tool bag.
Representation's pretty faithful. Centurion must have been on a job. Got very clear instructions what to look for.
So it is not him we seek, but his employer. Is this the only evidence we found?
Also happened on the weapon he attacked Oriana with. Hunting knife. Used to skin game. Got an emblem on its hilt.
This crest is used by the Lords of Duntine. The present master of the castle is a passionate hunter. Our next lead, perhaps.
Duntine. Remember the place. Abandoned ruin just a few years ago.
More recently, the family's last heir, Roderick, returned to his ancestral seat and restored the castle.
Know any more about this Roderick?
His grandfather was an advisor to Queen Ademarta. The family received those lands as a grant for his service. Roderick is quite the recluse. He avoids society, preferring the company of a small team of knights, though the latter term is imprecise, as they seem more akin to vandals with crests on their shields.
Oriana, everything we discussed here, hope you'll keep it to yourself. Counting on it, in fact. Word gets out he, failed in his attempt to steal the jewel. His employer could run. We need to proceed cautiously.
Discretion is in the interest of us all. I'll not ask what this is about, just as I expect not to be troubled about it again. By anyone.
Forgive me, Madam Oriana, but might I have a word?
You must excuse me a moment.
Oriana, any thoughts?
Few make me feel awkward, but in her presence, I sense anxiety, discomfort.
The drawing. It's on the same type of paper the victims' names were written on. Drawn with the same ink, too. Seems the work of our blackmailers.
Who were not only behind the beast's murders, but also stole the Son Real and sought to steal the heart of Toussaint.
Look, the wine, the jewel, both tied to you intrinsically. Coincidence? Not something I'm willing to believe. Worried about one thing. That somewhere at the end of this scheme, plan might call for an attempt on your life.
It could be something else altogether. My sister, Siana, might be among the schemers. She left court when we were children. My parents banished her from the duchy. I've not seen her since.
What did your sister do to get banished?
Siana was cursed.
Parents run afoul of some mage?
No. She was born at an inopportune moment. They said she was touched by the curse of the Black Sun. Geralt, is it true? Her dreams. We were children, and Cedric's brother was smitten with me. It was an innocent childhood crush.